Every shadow hides a secret, and this one is ready to be revealed. The screen stays dark for a moment, only the sound of rain hitting concrete breaking the silence. Then, a sharp inhale like someone waking from a nightmare. A shadow moves. The figure walks, faceless, the camera showing only silhouettes, reflections in puddles, and fragments of movement. The music begins with low strings, trembling, setting a mood of tension. A narrator's voice enters, steady but filled with mystery. The world thought it had seen the end. But the story of Beauty in Black is far from over. The visuals cut sharply, a broken mirror on the floor. A hand slowly closing around a black envelope. An empty hallway where doors creak open by themselves. Each image is fleeting, like glimpses of a nightmare you can't escape. The music builds as the voice continues. Season 3 pulls us deeper into the darkness, where every truth is twisted, and every smile hides a betrayal. The screen flickers to life with faceless glimpses of characters. A woman's hand slamming a door shut. A man's silhouette in a window, staring but never showing his face. Footsteps echoing in a tunnel. Shadows overlapping like they're alive. Quick sound bites cut in dialogue lines meant to spark curiosity without context. You don't know who you're dealing with. Everything you believed was a lie. If you open that door, you won't survive what's inside. Each voice is layered with static, distorted like fragments of intercepted recordings. The screen shows flickers of chaos, torn photographs burning, a car speeding through the night, a shadowed figure standing still in the rain. The tension rises as the music shifts, drums begin to beat like a racing heart. The narrator whispers again, "This isn't a beginning. This isn't an end. This is the storm that has been waiting, watching, growing in silence." Now the visuals speed up. Shadows chasing each other down empty alleys. A faceless woman's hand dropping a key into the river. A man's silhouette holding a weapon, but his face hidden by the darkness. A chilling sound of a child's laughter echoes faintly, but the source is never shown. The laughter fades into silence as the screen cuts to black. One final image bursts on screen, a single rose, black and dripping with rain, lying abandoned on the ground. The camera lingers. The petals shake in the wind. The music stops, leaving only the sound of that heartbeat louder than ever before. Narrator, Beauty in Black returns, and no one is safe. The screen fades to black, preparing for the next wave of intensity in Section 2. The screen opens with the sound of a match striking. A single flame glows in the darkness. It flickers, small and fragile, then is suddenly snuffed out, leaving the viewer in pitch black again. A sharp breath echoes, then silence. Narrator's voice cuts in, deeper, filled with urgency. Every secret demands a price. And Season 3 is the reckoning. The music creeps in, slow piano keys haunting, each note echoing like footsteps in an empty hallway. A flash of imagery bursts across the screen. A locked diary being ripped open. Torn photographs scattered on a cold floor. Hands trembling while holding a blood-stained letter. The camera lingers on a door slightly ajar. A shadow moves inside, but the figure remains unseen. The door slams shut with a thunderous crash, making the audience jump. The narrator continues. The lies are unraveling. The betrayals are closer. And trust is no longer a choice. Quick cuts of dialogue echo, layered over dramatic visuals. You don't understand. They're watching us. If you tell them the truth, you're dead. This isn't love. It's a trap. The visuals grow faster, more chaotic. Rain pours onto empty streets as headlights flash. A faceless figure runs through the storm, their breath ragged. A hand presses against a fogged-up window, leaving streaks as it slowly slides down. Then silence. A single violin note holds in the background. The camera zooms in on a cracked phone screen, glowing with a single unread message. Don't look back. The sound of shattering glass explodes across the screen. The music intensifies, percussion beats like a pounding heart. Fast and relentless, montage sequence begins. A faceless man slams a drawer shut, locking something inside. A woman's silhouette screams, but the sound is muffled, like underwater. Pages of a journal are ripped out and set on fire. A figure in a black coat drops a silver locket into the river, the water swallowing it whole. The narrator whispers, Some wounds never heal, some truths never rest, and some stories were never meant to be told. A loud metallic sound echoes, chains dragging across concrete. The screen flashes white for a second, then plunges into darkness. Another layer of sound bites cuts in. They'll come for you next. You think you can survive this? You can't. Run. While you still can, the visuals become a blur of chaos. Shadowed figures running, car tires screeching, a faceless silhouette standing in the middle of the road as headlights approach. The music builds faster and faster until it feels unbearable. Suddenly, silence again. Only the sound of breathing remains. A single candle is lit in the dark, glowing faintly. It illuminates a wall covered in photographs and notes, every face scratched out with black ink. The candle burns brighter, flickering as if fighting against the darkness. Then, with a sudden gust of wind, it goes out. The narrator delivers one final line for this section. The storm has broken, and no one can hide from the truth. The screen cuts to black, leaving the audience breathless and preparing for the intensity of Section 3, asterisk. The screen flickers alive with distorted static, like an old TV struggling to hold a signal. A distorted voice whispers, "Broken and fractured. You trusted the wrong one." The static clears to reveal a pair of hands gripping tightly together, then suddenly pulling apart, leaving one hand reaching into empty air. A heavy echo of a slammed door follows. Cutting the image off, the music starts low but unsettling, a haunting cello string dragging long, painful notes. Each frame cuts faster now, sharper, like fragments of a shattered memory. Visuals flash, a faceless figure holding a cracked mirror, their reflection fractured into pieces. A letter torn in half, the words unreadable. A hand dropping a wedding ring into the dirt. The narrator's voice returns, hushed but trembling with intensity. Love turns to ashes. Friendships turn to knives. And every bond is broken in the dark. Dialogue snippets overlap the growing chaos. Why did you do this to me? It was never about you. It was about power. If you ever speak again, they'll destroy us both. The visuals now spiral into panic. A faceless woman runs barefoot down a deserted hallway, her steps echoing like thunder. A man's silhouette pounds on a locked door, his muffled screams vibrating through the walls. A pair of eyes stare from behind blinds, watching, waiting. The music rises with pulsing drums. Boom, boom, boom. Each beat is paired with a brutal image. A glass shattering in slow motion, shards scattering like falling stars. A faceless figure collapsing to the ground. Flames consuming pages of a book, words erased forever. Suddenly, the screen cuts to black. Silence. Only the sound of shallow breathing. Then, faintly, a single phrase is whispered, "They betrayed us all." The silence breaks with an explosion of sound, metallic crashes, thunderous drums, strings screaming. The montage accelerates into pure chaos. Car tires screeching as headlights tear through the rain. A faceless figure standing at the edge of a bridge, the water roaring below. A hand clutching a gun, trembling, unsure whether to pull the trigger. Two shadows fighting, one pushed violently against a wall. Over this storm of visuals, overlapping voices scream, "Don't trust anyone. You lied to me." This is the end. The narrator whispers again, slower this time, as if warning the viewer. Season 3 shows the cost of betrayal. The blood spilled, the hearts broken, and the truth too dangerous to survive. The camera lingers on a single haunting image, a black rose pinned to a blood-stained note. The petals glisten with rain, half beautiful, half tragic. The note is unreadable, except for one word in bold ink, revenge. The music now reaches its peak, violent drums, screaming violins, pounding bass. Shadows flicker across the screen, faces always hidden, voices always broken. A final cut. A faceless silhouette screams silently, the screen shaking violently with static before collapsing into darkness. The narrator ends Section 3 with one final chilling line. When betrayal becomes truth, chaos is the only answer. Asterisk. The screen fades in from black with the sound of a ticking clock. Each tick echoes louder, sharper, like a countdown to something inevitable. A faceless silhouette walks slowly down a corridor, the walls lit only by the faint glow of flickering lights. With each step, the clock ticks faster, narrator's voice returns, deeper and more urgent than before. Every lie has led here. Every shadow, every secret, every betrayal. This is the reckoning. The visuals erupt. A faceless figure drags a suitcase through the rain, blood dripping from its edges. A woman's silhouette raises her head, eyes glowing faintly in the dark before the screen cuts away. A locked safe bursts open, papers scattering into the air like broken promises. The music builds violently, strings shrieking, drums pounding like thunder. The tension is unbearable. Dialogue fragments overlap with the chaos. "We can't turn back now." "They'll burn everything if we don't stop them. It's too late. We've already lost." A flash montage accelerates. A faceless man presses a trembling finger against a trigger. A figure collapses into water, sinking deeper, bubbles rising as the light fades. A shadow runs across a rooftop, chased by another figure. A candle burning out in slow motion, smoke curling like a final breath. Suddenly, silence. The music cuts to nothing. The screen is pitch black, a single phrase, whispered so softly it feels like it's inside the audience's head. "The truth will destroy us all." The silence is shattered by a violent crash, doors breaking open. Thunder booming, glass exploding. The montage now moves at lightning speed, overwhelming the senses. A faceless woman screams silently in the rain. Hands claw desperately against a locked gate. A black rose crushed under someone's boot. Flames engulfing a house as figures flee into the night. The heartbeat sound returns, faster, harder. The screen cuts between black and fragments of chaos in sync with each beat. Boom, a gunshot. Boom, someone falling. Boom, eyes staring through darkness. The narrator's voice lowers to a chilling whisper. Season 3 doesn't just reveal the truth. It unleashes it. Suddenly, the screen freezes on a single shot. A faceless figure standing in the middle of a street, drenched in rain, holding something tightly in their hand. The camera zooms slowly closer, closer. But just before the object is revealed, cut to black, the iconic Netflix sound echoes. The title slams onto the screen in bold white letters against black. Beauty and Black Season 3, the music holds on one last piercing note. Then silence. But before it ends completely, one final whisper returns, softer, chilling, lingering. This is just the beginning. The screen fades out completely. The heartbeat stops. Only silence remains.